Just go through your things. Is it gonna be okay?
We're
Good. Okay.
awesome. All right, class. Welcome to today. We're going to start out with reading this. How to make the survival phase the successful phase. So, who remembers what the survival phase was?
When you are a new teacher,
She's good.
right? Something.
Yep. The survival phase is when you're a new teacher and you don't really know quite what you're doing. Focus on surviving, and it's supposed to be really hard. Could we go to the next slide? Thank you. I need a volunteer to read this.
Here.
Oh, thank you.
Teaching is hard not only because of the curriculum, not only because of the new tests, new rules, new measures, not only because there are tests, and more tests, but because it so often feels like an insurmountable, thankless, stressful endeavor. The rules are always changing, the tests are always changing, and the blame for anything and everything that goes wrong usually falls squarely on our shoulders.
Awesome. So let's take a moment to think about this. Why is teaching a hard thing? Why can teaching be hard?
I think that teaching is hard, and this quote is really relevant because there's always new things that the students have to learn, and they're expected to learn it, but sometimes they haven't even heard about it, so it's kind of hard teaching them something they've never heard about, I guess.
That's definitely true. You're teaching students, and there are concepts that the students have never heard before. Teaching is no simple task. How else can teaching be hard?
Because you have you have so many tests and things to, what's the word I'm looking for? You have a high expectations for everything you're doing, and the classrooms are so diverse that it's sometimes hard to get everybody to be on the same page at the same time.
That is definitely true.
That's a good quote.
Go ahead.
I also feel too, is say the SAT and stuff, we have children learning these tests, but not all of them can take tests. We have brilliant students who can't take tests, who can't do certain things that we have to teach them, and it's hard to teach them in the way we are supposed to teach when we could be teaching them another way that could make them a lot smarter. So I know we have to stick by the objectives, the rules, but if there was a way to go around the rules and teach everyone in the way that they teach best and learn best, it would be a lot easier for students to be smarter because they would get it faster.
Exactly. Teaching can be really, really complex. Here, I'm basing this lesson actually out of a book, and it's a really good book that we all know. And it says here, teacher education will not have prepared you. Student teaching will not have prepared you. The district may not have prepared you, yet you will be expected to perform immediately. The thing about teaching is, it doesn't matter that we're going to be novices. From day one, in a sense, you're going to be expected to do and perform everything that a teacher who's been there in this occupation for 30 years is doing. All the same things. And that can be a lot to take in. So, we have a little bit to show that. So this is pretty important, because I'm not gonna lie, I personally am a little bit nervous for when I have my own class, how it's gonna be, if it's gonna be like that, and if I'm gonna look like her, it's gonna be terrible. But the good news is, when this day comes, you're gonna think, hey, I remember that day, September 15th, when I learned what I should be doing. So while you guys listen today, I want you guys to be asking yourselves, what is it that I am gonna do when I'm pulling my hair out the first few months of being a teacher. How can I best survive the survival phase, make it a successful phase? Here are the objectives. Would you care to read them?
Each student will be able to state verbally or in writing at least 5 resources available to most teachers and explain in their own words why they should be used.
Excellent. So basically, we're going to talk about what resources are available to new teachers and why is it that you're going to need them. All right. Pop quiz. What are we going to talk about today?
Resources.
Excellent. What resources are available, and what was the other thing we're going to talk about? Why they are
Important.
important. Exactly. Perfect. All right, let's keep going. Perfect. So we're going to talk about the induction program that we all want to be in. Once we become teachers, we're going to talk about gleaning from our colleagues and how to be a good student, because every good teacher is a good student. All right. So the new teacher induction program is it's a very special program that we all are going to want very badly. And I have a question for you all. Why is it? I don't know if you've ever seen students, like problem students, in class and then out of class, or in class and then they act one way, and then in I don't know, in church or in a restaurant they act a different way, right? Why do you think that might be? What are some factors?
Maybe because you're teaching them in a really bad way, or they don't like you.
Or they don't
Or they
like you,
really
you're
like
teaching bad. They like food.
Because they're in a restaurant.
You give them attention, or you don't handle their problems the right way.
Attention.
Or not
their
enough
previous
attention.
teachers don't give them.
So true.
Or maybe they're kids who want attention, because like there's a kid in my class that I'm teaching right now, and she's super smart. Like I know her family and everything. I know the kid can read, but when she doesn't do it unless you give her all the attention, like she wants to be the attention, so she's not going to perform her best until you give her that attention. As a teacher, it's kind of hard to give one child attention, but there are ways to do it.
There are ways to do it. I love what you just said.
There are ways to do it.
Thank you. Because some teachers can do it and other teachers can't. And the difference is, those that can, they simply just don't know how. And in these like restaurants and in these, I used to teach swim lessons, we used to get trainings on how to handle the kids. And I'm going to tell you a quick story. My parents actually met, they were lifeguards together and they taught swim lessons together. And my dad told me, my mom trained him on how to be a swim instructor. He told me that every time he had a problem child, he would just take the kid over to my mom's swim lesson group and let her handle it. And the thing is, we're not really going to be able to do that as teachers, but my mom was able to handle the problem children, the children who had struggled being in a school environment because she had been properly trained. So the new teacher induction program is to properly train us on how to handle situations, how to be good teachers. I think a great benefit to having a program, having training while you're teaching is you're going to have questions coming up. And you're going to want to know things, and you're not going to be able to ask for the shoot. So, let's go to the next one. The next item of business is what we can glean from our colleagues. So, really quick, we're going to take a couple minutes to think of reasons why and why not learning from your colleagues is a good idea. So really quick, maybe you two can converse, and maybe Alex and your neighbor can talk about why this is good and why this can be bad. Okay, you're gonna have 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Or Alex could sit in the middle and the three can.
It's in the middle.
That would work as well.
Okay, I think that, I've been talking this whole time. I think that learning from our colleagues is a good, is a good thing, because then we learn like what they're doing that's good and what they're doing that's wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if one teacher is doing something that the kids don't really like, then you can learn not to do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and like our science teacher was just talking about this yesterday, and she's saying how it's a good idea to become friends with the teacher who's been there for a long time, and that everybody's like wanting to put their kid in that teacher's class, and you just hear nothing but good things about that teacher, and to just kind of like pick their brain on lesson plans or like class management and like other things that could possibly help you, because they're familiar with it all, and it's better than nothing. It's better than just jumping into a situation and not having any idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I think it's good, but also there's some negatives, right? Like our colleague can be completely wrong in everything that he does, right? Like, especially in business, maybe he completely scams his people because he was raised to do that. And so sure you're seeking advice. Some of it might be good, and some of it might be poor as well, and that constitution as well.
So true.
Excellent. I love that thought. It is so important. So we're gonna start with the negative, because I always love to end on a happy note. So we're gonna read something that has to do with that. It says over here that you should build on the strengths of your colleagues, not the weaknesses of a few. The stagnating teacher will do everything to discourage and prevent you from growing, because your growth is perceived as a threat. Would you mind reading this paragraph right here, this last one?
Find yourself a coach, a colleague who will serve as your role model. Seek someone who will help you learn and give you inspiration. Find someone you can hold up as a symbol of the success you truly want to be. You are the only person on the face of the earth who can use your abilities. It is an awesome responsibility.
Excellent. Excellent. So basically, what do we learn from that?
That it's not a bad idea to have someone there to help you, but you need to know that you're the only person that can actually do something about it. So like if you do have a colleague that's giving you like a lesson plan, oh, like this really worked for my class, and you're looking it over and you're like, this is not gonna work at all. Like not being afraid to change it to best fit your situation, and not just like, oh, well, it worked for them, it'll work for me type thing.
Excellent, excellent. And really quick, I want to digress back to a few weeks to the idea of the rhinoceroses. That there are star teachers and there are quitter teachers, right? And the quitter teacher life is a lot easier, and misery likes company. So I can promise you, even though I haven't even been there yet, that there are going to be colleagues that are going to tell you your new teacher self. They're going to tell you the easy way, and they're going to tell you certain methods. They're going to tell you, well, why are you working so hard, man? All you need to do is this, this, and this. And you have to be able to discern and know which ones are going to help you, because really, as new teachers, we're going to be doing a lot of things the hard way for no reason. And we also have to know when taking the easy way is being a quitter teacher. So what should we be doing? Maybe you could help me out a little bit. We need to borrow, beg, and steal. We need to borrow ideas from our colleagues. We need to beg them for their ideas. We need to steal their ideas. My friend Yozan, she used to surf with me in California, and she just became a teacher. And she was telling me that before her interview, she was out surfing with a guy who said, yeah, I told my principal that I was sick today, but it was just because of these waves, man. And she was joking around with me that like, nah, I can blackmail him. Man, make him lend me his watercolors because now they're colleagues. So anyway, I actually don't recommend blackmailing anyone, but you should definitely be resourceful, be cooperative with your colleagues, and try to work together with them because that's what's going to improve your practice. Excellent. So, in what ways should a teacher be a student? Okay, so I want us all to think about this. Without looking forward, really quick, let's think of ways that a teacher should be a student.
They should learn from their students.
They should learn from their
Take in
students.
what their students tell them.
Does anybody have any experiences where that didn't happen or did happen? Or another way a teacher could be a student?
Well, I think as a teacher you should always be wanting to improve. And I guess like that's a form of learning, like reevaluating, getting new information, trying to be better. So I think like if a lesson isn't working in the moment, don't be afraid to like just continue doing a lesson and like waste a day. If it's not working or if the kids aren't understanding, like go back and fix it.
Excellent. I love that. In a way, making in-flight adjustments is being a student because we're learning every second of every day, just like we're planning every second of every day, or we should be anyway. So let's get two more ideas of how a teacher could continue learning and could continue being a student. What does being a student mean?
Well, we know that they're learning, but also a key thing I think is patience for a teacher, right? Like they teach, but they also gotta wait their turn. So when they're assessing, they gotta wait their turn and not teach. They gotta be able to find those key components of when they should be teaching and they should be teaching, right? When to stop and listen to the students, because just like now, kind of like we're having a discussion, right? You're teaching us something, but there's a point where you have to stop and you have to let us share our ideas, what we're thinking, what's going on in our minds, so you can know.
Excellent.
No, serious.
Excellent. I love those ideas. So here we have some more. In what ways should a teacher be a student? We should, Alex, that's good. We can get advanced degrees. We don't have to stop with a bachelor's or what have you. Join professional organizations, attend conferences. Good teachers, your colleagues who are good teachers, are they going to tell you to attend conferences? No, they're going to be like, hey man, let's go surfing. Anyway, participate in staff development meetings and work with your colleagues. Excellent.
A lot of that's actions too. Like, and I guess like being a student, you're learning and that's like an active thing, but with teaching, it's also an active thing. But every one of those, like they require you yourself to take action and to want to improve.
Excellent. It does take action. And action is always more difficult than quitting. But we're going to take action because we're here to change the world. Okay. So now we're going to take a couple minutes this in just to kind of wrap things up. We're going to discuss really quick what were some of the things that we remember. First off, like what was the main goal of today? Who remembers?
Resources.
Resources. For who?
Teachers.
Teachers. For us. Okay. So what are some of the things that stood out to you guys today? Some things you learned or that you see as very important for new teachers to know?
Those 3 things.
Those 3 things, but like what about them and why, how?
I don't know. Just to use your resources to the best you can, I guess.
Nice. I think something that I learned when I was making this was about the induction program, the importance of finding that program. I actually failed to mention that in the paper it says don't sign anything until you've asked about an induction program if your district has one of those. So it's really, really important. And then if there's no induction program, these 2 become really, really important. So I brought you guys some very nice papers. And on these papers, we're going to write on top, above everything, we're going to write, as a beginning teacher or as a beginner teacher, I will, ... Okay?
Is a, sorry, can you,
As a beginner teacher, whatever you want. You're a teacher. I will, and then we're gonna take 2 minutes, maybe 3, not 2 minutes, to write down the things that you are gonna want to do, that you are gonna do.
3 things we're gonna do, sir?
As many things as you feel like doing. Something
Are we
that-
gonna say?
Yeah, for extra credit on the final exam. No, actually, after you write this, then you're gonna share it with your neighbor.
Neighbors, I mean, sorry.
With your neighbors, yes. Thank you. Also, if you feel so inclined, it would be super cool if you write like even a rhyme about something, or you could even like draw an idea web or anything. But yeah, you have about 1 minute and 30 seconds.
No, do we have to make a rhyme? You said if we felt inclined, right?
It's extra credit.
On the final exam?
It's optional. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Overachiever.
I guess I'll write a rhyme because Chelsea's writing a rhyme. No, please do.
If you'd like, I'll run through the slides one more time, just in case there's anything else that you feel like you'd want to do when you become a teacher. That you would want to remember. Okay. So now let's share. Let's start on the middle.
Okay, awesome. So I basically said, as a beginner teacher, I will, one, ask for help like all the time, because I think help in teaching is good. Not help necessarily with stuff your class, but help with like how you could do better. So maybe advice would be a better word, but
Asking for help is vital.
good. So two, the induction program I would use, and then I just said take each day at one time because I feel like teaching is a lot to take in, and sometimes I'd want to cry because I'm a very emotional person. But other days I'm not gonna cry, but smile. And then there are other days when I have a frowny face. That's all the emotions.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I wrote, be patient and always be willing to learn and improve.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Always be willing to learn and improve. That is really important to remember and to be thinking about, especially when you begin. Last but not least.
I wrote quite a few. Challenge myself and my students. Create and follow lesson plans. I feel like a lot of big teachers don't do those. They do the easy way. I want to strive to build good habits of teaching methods and try to stick to them. I want to apply what I learned in this class and all my other classes to be a star teacher. And I want to never forget why I decided to become a teacher. I'll keep that as my motivation.
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, class. And I hope you all have a great day and a great survival phase.
Yeah, Jonah. Yes, Mr. Stanford.